Well, it is the first day of school, and that means more traffic on the roads as parents and kids add school drop-off back into their morning routines.
Check back with Phil Perkins this morning live at Broadview and Danforth now with more on the safety that's such a priority on a day like this, Phil.
Yeah, no doubt, Nick and Jen. It's the worst when we're in our business and we hear about, some kind of interaction, a negative interaction when it comes to a kid and someone not paying attention in their vehicle or a bicycle, or at least here in downtown Toronto, we see a plethora of e-bikes, e-scooters just darting through these bike lanes here, and you have so many kids and their parents going to and from school. Also here in Broadview, Danforth, a fair amount of high schools in the area as well. People just getting ready. They're all excited, as we heard from CAA an hour ago. Everyone is super excited. They're darting from the sidewalk to the street, so everyone needs to be mindful when they're around school zones and surrounding areas. So with more on this, but what they're doing over in Peel region is Tyler Bell-Morena from Peel Police. The constable is here joining us here live on CP24 Breakfast. Thanks for joining us here. We're here, downtown Toronto. It's very walkable, lots of public transit. Peel region, a little bit more spread out. So what do people need to know heading into this really crucial week when it comes to kids back at school and, a lot busier than normal around those institutions?
Well, Phil, yeah, you mentioned that Peel's much more spread out. We have large roadways, multi-lane roadways, and high speed limits. So the first point I want to touch on is slowing down and giving yourself more time. I noticed even this morning the commute took a little bit longer. I left a good 15 minutes earlier, and I actually got to work a little bit later than I ordinarily would. So that just speaks to the emphasis of making sure you're giving yourself more time. Here in Peel region, as I mentioned, those big roadways, those big speed limits, oftentimes multi-lanes and not divided. I want to talk a little bit about school buses and the importance of school bus safety and the responsibility of drivers. A lot of people don't know that on multi-lane roadways like we have here in Peel, you do have to stop. Even if there's 3 lanes on each side, you have to stop in both directions. The only exception is a completely divided roadway where there's a median. And if you don't, the fine is quite nasty, anywhere from $400 to $2,000 and 6 demerit points. And what lots don't know is that when it comes to school buses, that's actually what we call an owner liable offense. So we don't need to see it. If a school bus camera catches you, the owner of that vehicle gets the ticket.
Absolutely. You know what? That's a hefty ticket, but if you're not paying attention to a school bus and you're on your device or in a rush, whatever, you get what you deserve. So, Constable, what are police going to do about this? We just talked about, some of the hefty fines that could be facing people, but what are Peel Police doing to make sure that everyone drives accordingly?
So excellent question. We have a few different operations happening across the region at our various divisions. For example, in the south end of Mississauga, we have Project Brake Check. So we have extra officers out today with a focus on school safety, community safety zones, and school bus enforcement. Our regular road safety services officers are out. It's no time off for these couple of weeks for these officers. They'll be out in numbers in community safety zones, school zones particular, and we even have a few units that will be following some school buses around to catch those drivers and make sure the message is very loud and clear that you have to pay attention, and there's absolutely zero tolerance and zero excuses for not stopping for a school bus.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? For those high school kids, I'm seeing a lot more these days, the electric scooters being out there, not ridden by one person, but by 2. For students out there, for some adults who could be commuting that way, any safety tips or warnings on how to use those things just in general?
Well, those e-bikes or e-scooters, they're vehicles, so they're supposed to be following the same rules of the road. Each manufacturer, each agency that rents these out are going to tell you that you shouldn't have more than one person on. It's important that you follow the safety rules. You're not supposed to be on the sidewalks with these either. Only shared roadways or shared pathways, where that's acceptable. There's no reason why motorists should have to be worrying about scooters traveling at 20, 30 kilometers an hour crossing the street. So please use those with caution.
Absolutely. All right, Constable Tyler Bell-Morena with Peel Police. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. I bring up the e-scooters because I was on Broadview going for a walk, checking out the scene. Almost got sideswiped by someone on an e-scooter on the sidewalk. Super annoying, but I contained the aggression. Send it back to you, too.
It's live. dodging e-bikes on Danforth and what was it? Danforth and Broadview.
Broadview.
Okay, there we are. Yeah.
Okay,
Broadview.
glad you're safe.
There we are. That's right. Broadview.
It's a madhouse.
Yeah.
It's a madhouse out
There we
here.
are. All right, thanks, Phil.